Day's going all right, actually.
How's the weather out there? Didn't they just have I saw jelly roll? You know what jelly roll is, right?
Yeah. The CMAs was yesterday.
Yeah. So I mean, how was it downtown? It should have been sweet, right?
Yeah, pretty lit. We got invited to a couple after CMA parties, but we didn't really, wasn't interested.
Oh,
Busy with work. So,
I would have been all over that.
I know. Did you see Jelly Roll? He got his like award. I don't even know what he got. He won, but he got his award, brought it to the back room, and immediately dropped it and broke it.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's about his style, anyway.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. That's about Jelly Roll right there. But yeah, CMAs were yesterday. It was pretty lit. We went to, where did we go? We went to Neighbors, which you've been there before. I know you have, from being down here. And nice little bar in Germantown. And there was they were doing like fucking awards and like doing like shows, like watch parties and everything everywhere. So yeah, it was sweet though.
Yeah, no. I saw him like give out the award. I mean, got the award. He gave out this huge like inspirational speech, which was cool. It seemed like it came from his heart, you know. And then I was just thinking though, all you fuckers are down there in Nashville. It had to be a party, you know.
Yeah, insane. It was insane. Traffic yesterday was miserably bad.
I probably wouldn't make it in Nashville. I think I'd be like completely wild. My girl would probably end up leaving me just because I'd be trying to run with the boys, and I would probably, I don't know how the youngsters do it down there in Nashville, because I'd be a complete lunatic down there.
It's definitely a sleep when you're dead mentality.
Yeah.
Like there's some long nights in the Ville. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure in that little frat house you guys got going on over there, it's got to be something crazy too, right?
Yeah, it's insane. I'm not gonna lie, it's insane. Every night there's something going on. So
yeah, right on.
Huh?
What'd you say?
What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was gonna ask you, did any of the boys play anything, some college football, anything, any yelling or screaming in the house last night?
Yeah, we had Celtics money line against who did they play again?
They lost, right?
Yeah, they end up losing.
Yeah, I was big on that. I thought like Celtics going into overtime 2 nights ago, I know everyone had 1 day of rest, but then 76ers at home, my favorite play on that game was 76ers money line first half, which they both ended up hitting. But I just thought that if this was a spot that the Celtics come back and win, that it'd be like a comeback win, you know?
Yeah, which it almost was. I mean, the Celtics were down 10. Cooper had a lot of money on the Celtics, I know. That was like a big play for him. And they were down like 10 the entire fourth quarter, and then just kept creeping their way back, man. Just kept creeping their way back. We got it to 4, and then they'd blow it. Maxey was fucking going off. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, no, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Insane. I think we got enough people in here. We got about 31 people in here right now. So let's get started, boys. Don't forget to drop a follow on the channel as well. We appreciate you all, and let's get started.
All right. What up, everybody? It's your boy Nasty from Nasty Sports, and you're here in the fucking sports dungeon. If you've never seen the sports dungeon, it's my little fucking home, okay? This is my sports. This is the nightmare that runs in my head. I was like, hey, if Pat McAfee can make a show but then run to ESPN, this is what I have in my head, where I think like, hey, I just want a spot where we could watch fucking sports, talk sports the way we talk sports, right? None of this fucking neck and tie, fucking suit and tie sports, but just guys that just want to hang out, have a few shots, maybe roll up a little doobie and talk sports. Bryce is on the show today, right?
Yes,
how you doing, Bryce?
Doing pretty damn good. And all those things sound amazing.
Yeah, anyone that's on the social media, I have different social medias pointed at me, TikTok. If you want to comment, jump over to my bio. The link in the bio, you could go, you'll click that. And then if you want to participate in the comments in the chat room, that's where we'll see them. That's where we read them. I have a special guest today. Guys, if you don't know, and a lot of you guys can't see the studio, but we're going to move the cameras around today. But I have the crypt keeper over here. This is the dude that fucking keeps track of anyone who cost us money, anyone who is Fugazi. And if you guys missed the last few shows, guys, we now have the Miami Dolphins have gone into the barrel, the first team, So if that's ever a trivia question 2 years from now, the Miami Dolphins, they beat everybody. They're like the bully in school, right? They beat down everyone who's fucking they should beat down, but then they get beat up by the little bigger guys, right? So right now they've cost me tons of money, and they are in the fucking pits of hell. To my right over here, your guys' left, and you will see it in a little bit, we have the official Nasty Nation doghouse. That doghouse is for straight fucking dogs. I mean, people that have won us money, people in the industry that I call my friend, maybe that we bring on the show, and they have changed the industry of whatever sport they're in or whatever they're doing. They officially go in the doghouse. And that's what I was trying to say, is we have a special guest today. I know you guys saw the clip. If you don't know him, his name is Gino from Bet Openly. This guy, I consider him my friend. We've partied in Vegas together. This guy has changed the industry. As far as when I say change the industry, I'm saying this dude was just like us, right? Betting in the streets, running the streets, doing whatever it takes to hustle, but then jumped on the other side and said, hey, I'm going to open up my own type of sports book, right? I don't know if you're familiar with it, Bryce, but it's a sports book, but it's friendly to asshole gamblers like us, degenerates. We're going to get into that in a little bit. He will be coming on in about 10 minutes. I'm supported right now. I'm rocked out in my Michigan gear. I'm supporting Michigan. What do you think about that, Bryce? I know we keep talking about it. Do you like the whole thing that's going on with Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fuck it. I hate Michigan, but I mean, I gotta respect game when game shows up, gotta respect game. So
yeah. And so what I'm talking about that, you know how they did the spy gate or whatever in the fuck they've been doing? Well, this is the true test. Now the cat's out of the bag, right? And now they got Ohio State and Penn State. In my opinion, if they can beat these guys and without, with all the videotape and all the bullshit, in my opinion, they should let it move forward. They should discipline Harbaugh because Harbaugh. What do I keep trying to say?
Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, they should discipline him, and I mean they should just move forward. I don't know. I don't think this has turned out anyone's season. Everyone that they beat already was sucky, right? It's not like they beat somebody to get to the national championship game. I think everyone they beat already was done with the season. I mean, what does everyone think in the comments? I'd always like to hear what you guys think. Last night, let's just recap real quick before we bring Gino on. I mean, obviously, this is a sports gambling fucking platform. Last night, I gave out one of my favorite player props last night was Bagley from the Detroit Pistons. They were playing in Milwaukee. Guys, this Milwaukee team, yeah, they're fun to watch, but they don't play defense. I think they're the worst team in the NBA at playing defense. So those scores are running up. Bagley's over-under was minus 9.5 points. And I was like, I got word that he was starting. We kind of got lucky because he didn't end up starting. Like it was a last-minute change or something like that, Bryce. Yeah. And it we ended up getting lucky. He ended up having 8 points before halftime, and then I think he had 13, 15 points. It was a no sweat, in my opinion.
Yep. And then yesterday as well, the was Loyola versus FAU, correct?
Yep. And, FAU, I think that was what's his name? What's our boy? Lloyd. I was on at 6:00. That was Lloyd's pick. He said FAU -4, I think he said at halftime.
Yeah. FAU first half -4.
Yeah, one of my other ones was I was big on Syracuse not being so good. That was in my earlier show. I put that out on Spotify. I never jumped on it. I forgot completely about it, but Syracuse ended up not covering with the last second dunk, but I knew 14 points was a little too high. So if you did jump on that through Spotify and all the streaming services and you heard it, then congratulations. I also had Pistons, and Pistons blew the bag. I don't know if you saw that. They were winning by like 10 with 3 minutes to go, and they ended up fucking blowing the bag on that one. Did you see that, Bryce?
Yeah, that would have been a sick money. Because what was that money line? That was at +4.
The money line was like almost +400. Yeah,
I think +420 or something.
And I put that. I put Pistons. It didn't matter because the Kings ended up winning but not covering because I had like a +1,000. It was Pistons to win and the Kings to cover -8. Portland ended up hanging around. Kings did get the win, but they did not cover. Yeah. So, you know, it was a little shaky night. I mean, we were up, we were down. You know, you got to take a stab at shit.
Did you watch the Mississippi State game?
I did not. No, I saw the updates though.
Yeah, that game was. I mean, Mississippi State looked like a national contender.
And as we're talking, guys, we will, at the end of this show, I will be going over what I like in this Thursday night primetime game. People call me primetime, and I know that pisses people off because all my haters come on and go, who calls you primetime? Nobody calls you prime. Bro, everyone calls me primetime. Just because you don't call me primetime doesn't mean that everyone else doesn't call me primetime. So get on the fucking boat and understand that I'm fucking primetime, okay? That's it. There's no other questions. It's it. I'm fucking primetime when it comes to NFL.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you guys who I like. I have a player prop that I truly love in that game. I think this is the toilet bowl of Thursday night games. I mean, you have Carolina, you have fucking Chicago Bears. Who comes out? Here's what and we'll get into this, but you know what I'm fighting with right now, Bryce?
What?
Is that last week so many favorites won, and now I want the Bears to win. But now does the shift, this is where I always tell people, what you saw last week, be aware. Don't be just so happy to take more favorites, because that's when the NFL and how things work in the universe, or whoever's in powers to the fucking sports gods, this is how it changes. I'm on the Bears, but they're the favorite at home, and a lot of favorites at home last week won. And I'm trying to think like, fuck, do I now jump the ship to think? Well, what do you guys think in the comments? Let me know. We will get back to the comments. Let me know, Bryce, when Gino's in the back room.
Yep.
And we'll bring him on.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
What else happened in the world of sports? Anyone else have a lean tonight? Anyone has something that they truly like?
Two Gucci's kind of liking Bears by a zillion, which is insane.
The Bears by a gazillion?
Yeah.
But think about this. But guys, think about this matchup, guys. Think about, you have a backup quarterback, Division II All-Star, right? If you guys don't know who this rookie is from the Chicago Bears, listen, and just for your information, I didn't even know this until a few weeks back, but I used to watch his dad. He used to be like this monster arm wrestling guy, right? And you guys could go look him up. Go look up, the quarterback's last name? I always fuck up the pronunciation, like
Bajent, right?
Bajent or something? Yeah, Badgett. I think it's pronounced Badgett.
Really?
Yeah, so Badgett, his dad's like this master fucking, and he's the biggest shit talker you'll ever meet. Go look him up on YouTube. You'll enjoy the show. This dude's a fucking beast, but he was like a world champion arm wrestler guy, right? But anyway, the matchup tonight is fascinating to me. You have one who's the #1 draft pick in the NFL, won a Heisman Trophy, right? Against a Division II All-Star quarterback. I mean, this is the Cinderella story if you're the fucking dude that he didn't get drafted, right? If I'm correct, Bagley did not get drafted. No, it's not Bagley. Badgett didn't get drafted. And now you have a chance to lead your team at home in Chicago in prime time against the #1 paid fucking prospect quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, like Imano tonight. I think he gets it done, but you never know, right?
You never know. Literally.
What do you think, Bryce?
The game's gonna go over.
All right. What do we got? We got him in the back room.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
All right, guys, listen. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, we got him in the back room, so we can bring up Gino whenever.
Guys, listen. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, his connection looks like it's not the 100% greatest. So if anything bad with the connection happens, I'll jump in. But yeah, he's ready to go whenever.
All right, we're gonna see. We're gonna see if Gino, my main guy, has what you youngsters call Walmart Wi-Fi, or has he come prepared to be on the fucking show and be on the fucking doghouse? But anyway, guys, my friend Gino from Bet Openly, let's bring him on. Let's see what we got today. Let's see if we could get a good connection. Oh, he's out there in Florida. You look like you're in a fucking hurricane, bro.
I'm showing 5 bars, my dudes. I got 5 bars, Comcast, 1 gig. I paid my bills.
Yeah, you're a little choppy. I wonder if that's our connection or it's your connection.
I'm showing 5 bars.
Yeah, well, let's just, you're still going. You're just choppy in and out. You're not so clear, but we'll just keep going with it. So, Gino, if everyone doesn't know you, what's the first thing you would like to tell people who you are? How'd you get your start in this? Tell us like a 2-minute story of the A to Z of what you're doing and where you came from.
I was a degen before half of you were born. I went from gambling to bookieing. I went from bookieing in high school to booking my frat at San Diego State. Then I was gambling and losing money my entire 20s. And I started creating, basically I wanted to remove the house. So I moved down to Argentina because gambling wasn't legal here yet. And I started building an offshore peer-to-peer market. And I was down there for about 2 years. And then PASPA got overturned. And I moved back, started Bet Openly officially on U.S. soil, raised some money, did that whole song and dance. And now we've been around for almost 4 years now.
Now, when you went to Argentina, was it peer-to-peer down there, or were you trying to like compete with like international sports books?
Yeah, we were building it. It was an international, it was just an illegal offshore. And then we were using that money to build the peer-to-peer on the back end. So it was, the software was not peer-to-peer yet, but the concept was there and we were building it.
Okay, and so for whatever, if you guys have not been to Bet Openly, it's betopenly.com. You could go to, I don't think I have the link yet, but you could just go to the website, you sign up, and basically what it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that somebody posts a bet that they like, right? Or your company already posted it. And then the other side, you can take the bet, but at 1% juice. So what Gino's, what he has Minecrafted here was that he's eliminating the juice. You know how these greedy pig executives from the fucking sports books, they put on -15, -20, -10 and all that. Well, if you go to Bet Openly, you can bet against each other. And is it good in all states, Gino?
45 of 50. So yeah, I always tell people we're probably in your state. Most people think we're not in their state. We are in their state. The only 5 we are not in: Nevada, New Jersey, Hawaii, Idaho, and Colorado comes January 1st. So 5 today, but Colorado's coming in 60 days. 45
Beautiful.
days.
What a fucking grind, dude. And if I looked right, last night I looked and it said you have a little ticker on the main page and it says over $5 million saved in juice. Is that correct?
Yeah. And that's real, guys. What McNasty said was accurate. So I always tell people this, and I'll keep it really short. Create the exact bet you want. Our software does the rest. If you see a bet, only take it if what you see is exactly what you want. Don't overthink it. Create exactly what you want. Take exactly what you want. It's that simple. You'll just see 90 to 95% less juice.
Now, Gino, have you seen any pushback from any of the big dogs in the industry yet, like MGM, DraftKings, anything that says like, hey, we need to get this guy out of the fucking picture? Because if you're saving $5 million worth of juice, I know that's not a lot to like MGM or DraftKings or anyone, but if this starts to take off in the next few years, I mean, they have to either say, we need to either buy this fucking dude out or, we got to deal with this guy.
Yeah. Dude, so you know what the craziest thing is? Most of the pushback I get is from straight up dweebs, like little dorks that work for these other companies. And they'll like make videos about me or tweet at me telling me I'm illegal. We are integrated with Coinbase, PayPal, Chase Bank. They don't even understand. So ironically, they always say this. It's the same bullshit every time. They say he's an unlicensed book. Well, number one, I'm not a book. So to say I'm unlicensed is actually accurate, but I'm not a book. So it like doesn't make sense. So their argument starts off with a lack of understanding. They'll say, so if I said, are you licensed? And I said, no, and you close off your ears, you'd say, see, he's illegal, and run away. They just don't have the ability to use a brain. I am not a licensed book. I'm operating under the social gaming laws, and I cannot house any bets. So to McNasty's point earlier, we do not create any. We cannot house any. I'll talk about some of the downsides. The worst part about Bet Openly is your bet's not filled every time. If you go to place a bet last minute or you're greedy with your lines and odds, you make it. It's just going to say canceled at the start and you get your money back. You don't lose anything, but you don't have a bet. So the number one pushback is, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose just to get people not to trust us, or if they're actually don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But yeah, we are not a book, and we operate in 45 states, and we also have DFS. So you can do peer-to-peer 1%, or you can do regular DFS like the apps if you want a house, 3-team parlays that get filled right away and pay a multiplier. The DFS laws are very different. So we have 3 buckets of laws that we kind of play in all different states.
Listen, in my opinion, I've been on Bet Openly and I bounce off and I bounce in and I love the platform just because I think I would rather lose my money. If I'm going to lose money, I would rather give it to a peer of mine than some CEO that's flying all over the world enjoying his life. I would rather just give the money back to them and be like kudos with each other, in that sense, right?
I love it. That's arguably one of my favorite use cases. Is any bet you create has a shareable link. So all you kids out there that are on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, whatever, Snap, you can literally share your bet and talk trash to people, and you're getting paid. I can't tell you how many dudes. Oh, sorry, go.
No, what I was going to say is one of my favorite add-ons that you guys did was now you could create like some type of a challenge, right? Where you create like a 5-game pick'em, and then other people could join in on that, and then whoever wins takes the pot, right?
100%. We call them contests, but anyone can select the contest for as little as $10, as much as $1,000, and you can do 5 people, 10 people, or unlimited. And the contest pays the multiplier of the number of people. So if you do a 10-person contest, just like a parlay, it pays you 10x. But the difference is you don't need to go undefeated. You just need to be the best of those 10 guys. So I swear to you all, every day I see people winning contests with 3 picks out of 5 correct. And they're getting paid 5x because everyone else did shitty. Also, there are times where people go 5-0 and they win the contest. So mathematically, there's 1% juice on these. Y'all, there's almost a 30% edge on a 3-team parlay. So that's 29% savings.
No, it's beautiful. And guys, it's fun. If you go over to Bet Openly and you're just sick of just playing the rat race with the sports books and you want to go over there and just have fun, we're not here to push this down your throat. We're just saying this is a new option. You save money. There's different ways to make fun. And listen, you can also create your own terms where it's a reverse, right? Is that correct? Where you put up the play and someone out, you could say, listen, if you think that these 2 teams hit, I'll put up my money, and some people will feel that. And if they don't hit both of them, you win. You're basically turned into the house, right?
Yep. Yeah. So the exact opposite of a parlay. So let's just say you want to bet a little bit and win a lot. Parlays are for you. You say, hey, I'm going to pick these 3 teams, bet $10. I want to win 50. No problem with that. Someone else will take the opposite. Now, when someone else has the opposite of you going 3-0, they don't need to go 3-0. That's the biggest misconception. They just need you to lose 1 game. So that's the power of housing bets. That's how Vegas was built. Now, to McNasty's point, if you are like, hey, I don't have a strong lean, but I just know these 3 teams are not all going to lose, you can offer a parlay. You can pick team A, pick team B, pick team C, and offer the parlay, put up a lot to win a little, but you only lose if all 3 of your teams lose. So if one of your teams wins, you win.
So basically, at the end of the day, guys, go down to Bet Openly, go check it out, go play with it. It doesn't cost anything to fucking get on the platform and check it out and play with it. I love the fucking thing just because, A, it's one of our own guys that fucking created it. 2, it saves us money. And 3, it's a different way of fucking sports betting. And hey, I fucking love it. Me and you've had tons of drinks. We've had a fucking beautiful steak together, right?
Yep.
Now let's get into some sports real quick. I love the company. We're going to get into some. What's that?
Let's get people fed.
Let's get people fed. Now listen, Gino, tell me just real quick, because everyone loves stories. What is the worst beat you've ever took? And is it equated to the amount of money with the bad beat?
The worst beat I ever took by far was every year I'd take a preseason team to win the Super Bowl. I had probably $1,000 to my name at the time. This is about 10 years ago. And I took Atlanta to win the Super Bowl. And you know what year that was.
Yeah.
And I didn't hedge a nickel. So
I was on the same game. Trust me.
I had 1,000 to win 28,500, I think it was at the time. Didn't hedge a penny. I was at a bar buying drinks because I was about to cash in 28,500, and I watched it deteriorate.
Yeah, okay, that's fair because I was on the same game. What is the best game that ever made you the most amount of money that you could remember? That you were just like, it doesn't matter if it was a parlay, if it was whatever it took, but like your best bet that you remember.
So I don't remember what round of the playoffs was, but it was the playoffs. It was when the Carolina Panthers had a really good defense and they almost shut out the Dallas Cowboys. So whatever game, I think it was the first or second round of the playoffs. I think it was Jake Delhomme, but everyone had Dallas every which way. I had Carolina money line to the under, and I want to say they won like 20-0, 22-0. It was a weird score, 17-0, 18-0. But that one paid me pretty good because the world was on Dallas. The world thought Carolina had a good year, but they weren't that good. And I was like, no, this team can run and they can stop the run. So again, I was probably 18 or 19 years old at this time. This is a long time ago, kids. But I had like $3,000 and it paid me like, I want to say it paid like 12 because I had them money line and to the under. And that was back. This is George Bush era of the presidency. He didn't shut down the offshores. So I had I want to say it was like called the tropical something, but I played poker offshore. I bet sports offshore. And back then me winning 12 grand was like probably the equivalent of $100,000 now.
Yeah, that's huge. Before we get into one more thing, what is your best advice? Your number one advice, I don't care if it's bankroll management, if it's about being disciplined, if it's about being just whatever your best advice from somebody that's been doing it for over 25 years, I would say either if you were a bad gambler, and listen, we've all been bad gamblers. You could agree to that. And
I was a really bad gambler. I was a really bad gambler, guys. Like, I'm being serious. As bad as any. I was the friend that guys would text me what I liked just to probably go opposite of me. So this is actually true to this day, and y'all aren't going to believe me, but I do it. I actually created a separate account. Even though all my stuff is at B of A, one day I went into Wells Fargo, and I put in $300, and I said, hey, I want to open an account. And I only used that account to bet. Now, it's grown a little since then, but I will tell you guys, one thing is to keep your money that you gamble with separate from the money you live off of. So what I'm saying in a very long-winded way, and it's, you'll hear it 1,000 times, but I want to give you actionables. Don't bet what you can't afford to lose. And what I mean by that, separate what you do gambling from everything else. Don't even have your checking account that pays your rent tied to your gambling account. They will overlap, and there will be a bad day, week, month. Literally separate them so they don't overlap, or you'll end up in a hole, my dudes. And that's like betting on credit. All of this shit aligns. That you want to separate your bills. Don't bet on credit. Don't bet what you can't afford to lose. The easiest way, any company will give you a free checking account if you put a couple $100 in there. Any company. Go in there, open it up, and only use that account for your books. Bet Openly included. Set up that account with your FanDuel, with your Bet Openly, with your Prize Picks, but have that one account separate. If you ever want to bet, take money from your account, zell it over to that account. If you do that, you can't get in trouble.
I like it. I love it. I think that's I tell people the same thing all the time. Do separate your money. Your bankroll should have nothing to do with what you fucking do in life. And if you don't have no money, then don't bet until you have extra money that you're willing to lose. Remember, it's not what you're willing to win, but you're willing to lose. Because if you lose it, then you're like, hey, I took a chance, right?
100%. Yep. We're saying the same thing.
Guys, listen, anyone in the comments, I'm going to get to Gino really quick. I have two things. Gino, before I present you with the fucking dog of the year, and you're going to be the first official guy to go on my doghouse, think about this. I'm going to come back after we do this. We're going to set the camera back, and I'm going to ask you, give us your favorite play, and don't do it yet. And also give me who you think's going to win the Super Bowl. I already know who you're going to say, but then after you take your bias out of it, I want you to tell me who you truly believe has a chance. And guys, in the comments, give if you guys have any questions, I like to know what you guys think, what you guys have. If you have 1 or 2 questions, Bryce, filter through the comments and let me know if anyone has anything. But without further ado, guys, I have Bryce, pull it up real quick. Bryce, do you have the picture, the image? I want to show everyone what we're doing here because I know you guys, it's not going to produce on camera. Right here, it says Nasty Sports, Top Dog Sports Betting Hall of Fame. Yes, I have a fucking Hall of Fame, and it's my Hall of Fame. I don't care what you guys think. And I know there's one in Vegas now, but fuck that one in Vegas. This is for us, the dudes that are in the streets. It says it goes to Gino from Bet Openly. Today is 11/9/2023. It's the first fucking dog. It's going on the doghouse. And look, it could have went into the fucking Crypt Keeper, but I like Gino, okay? We're going to keep the Crypt Keeper for the fucking punks, and we're going to come over here to the doghouse right here. My cameraman's going to take it to the orange guy right here. Gino, just so you know, you're the first fucker to go on the doghouse right here. Let's see if I don't fuck this up and break it.
This guy has a stadium arena.
That's a fucking doghouse right there. So everyone, Gino's the first fucking dog of the doghouse right there. It will always be right there, guys. Hey, I love it. That's what we do here. This is the fucking studio, guys. Gino forever will be on there. Make sure you tune in. Gino, congratulations, brother. I think you're a fucking dog, bro. I think you're a dog of all dogs. Now listen, back to this. Bryce, do we have any questions before we get Gino a couple of more questions and then get him out of here?
A lot of congratulatories. Hi, Gino. Pleasure to meet you. A lot of congratulatories for Gino being on the dog. I can agree to that too. He is a fucking dog. Couple questions. Basically is let's see. So someone keeps bringing up, is this essentially Bet Openly essentially like a sports poker, playing your hand versus others? Would you agree to that? Would you kind of?
I like that analogy. Yeah, think about it like this. So for tonight, if you create a bet that's the Chicago Bears, someone else gets the Panthers. Like that's how I want y'all to see it. So keeping it super simple. Someone has team A, someone has team B. Someone has the over, someone has the under. It's that simple. And by removing the house, we remove the 10% juice.
Beautiful. And then another question I got is what is so like in a business world or in a business sense, you know, obviously gambling and business come so close and hand to hand together. Most businessmen do gamble and most gamblers are in the business world. What is kind of like the hardest struggles that you've seen starting a company in the betting world as you're also in love with betting? So, you know, it's a weird little dance. I know it's a weird little song and dance you have to have, but I'm sure a lot of people are intrigued in like, what are those two kind of connections and kind of 100%. Some struggles?
Yeah, I'm serious, guys. Since I was about 18 or 19 years old, I had a separate checking account for my gambling. And I need that because that money is fluid. That money, if I lost it all tomorrow, it sucks, but it doesn't affect, you know, the diapers on my daughter. So that's the number one thing I would say is keep if you ever heard of the 10 Crack Commandments by Biggie, go listen to the 10 Crack Commandments. You really do want to keep your gambling and your family completely separated. Money and blood don't mix. I won't finish that line, but I'd go listen to the 10 Crack Commandments, and it applies to gambling. So I always say this story, and I hope this helps one dude out there. Gambling is a dirtier industry than drug dealing. And y'all are like, what? Hear me out. When you want to buy a rock or want to buy a bag or want to buy whatever, both people are happy. Hear me out. Both people are happy. One dude gets his ball, one dude gets his money. Both parties are happy. Gambling is the only one that every time one dude gets robbed. Every time. The bookies pissed because you win or you're pissed because you lost. There's one upset party and one happy one. It is the dirtiest business in the world, and people don't realize that. So that's what you got to realize is the alphas in this space, they're never going to get along because you're right and I'm wrong. There is no middle. You can be different political parties and argue till you're blue in the face your whole life. But this game, someone is right and someone is wrong tonight when the fourth quarter hits 0. And that's it. So I want y'all to understand this is the dirtiest business in the world. I'm just telling you the truth.
I agree. I agree 1,000% with you. And before we let you go, like I said, do you have a nice little fucking pick for the users? And guys, make sure you give me a follow. Gino, 1 second. Everyone give us a follow on this channel. Make sure you go. What's your best TikTok? I know everyone has several in the space, but what's the one that you'd like everyone to know where you're at?
Yeah, just bet.openly.
Bet.openly. Go check them out on TikTok. But what's your favorite play for this weekend? Like college, NBA, NFL, whatever you like.
You want my best player or do you want one for tonight? I can go either way, guys.
Give it both. Give us both. Let me hear both of them.
Okay, fine. So giving tonight, I actually do like, I'm seeing a lot of places you can still get 3.5 on Carolina. I like 3.5 on Carolina. I know they played like shit last week. People are going to be over betting this under. I actually like the over. I'm warning you guys, systems are getting beat up and over bet. The value's gone on that under. I think these two teams with their crappy defenses and their semi-decent offenses can explode. So again, I like the points more than I like the under, way more, but I actually lean the over. And then for games, oh man, if I had to give you a real ugly one, it's probably the Texans. It's probably the Texans. And if you can get, I'm seeing 7 right now on a few places. If you can get 7 still on the Texans versus the Bengals, I get it. You're going against, so guys, I want to stress this too. Some of the best bets are the most uncomfortable ones to make. If you're super confident and it feels really good, the value is usually not there. So the Texans versus the Bengals. The Bengals are on a rocket up right now. Everyone is arguing, are they the number 1 team in the NFL? Is their power rankings 1, 2, or 3? Are they a Super Bowl contender? Sure. But the best value right now is going against these Texans who just scored against a better defense than the Bengals in Tampa Bay. CJ is looking nasty. And let's not forget this Texans defense has a defense. So I cannot believe they're getting 7. I think the line in this game should be 4. You're getting 3 extra points of value. I do not see another game with that much value.
Real quick, would you give any advice on, and I don't want to get too deep into this, so just you could answer it within five little sentences. Would you, like you said, if it's at 7, would you ever buy the hook so that you're not landed right on the key number?
Yeah. So technically speaking, oh man, if you're betting not to lose, that's kind of where the hook comes into play because you're putting out more money and you don't want to lose your bet. What I would say is if you're going to buy a hook, the number 1 hook to buy is the 3 to the 3.5. The 7 to 7.5 is a lot less common than people realize. I want to say only 9% of games end at that number. And because only 9% do and they're charging you 20% for the hook, you just stole 11% of value. That all said, I have this game true line at 4 to 4.5. So when you have those 2.5 free points, if you buy this hook, it's still EV positive in my book.
I like it. Okay, and without further ado, let's get to it. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Let's hear. I know who you're going to say right away because you got to say it.
Yeah,
but then give me who you really think is going to win.
I'm a Niners fan. We're still 3rd or 4th ranked in that. I do believe we do win the Super Bowl. I mean that. But that's not what I'm giving out today. I believe the best value play right now on the Super Bowl today is actually the Buffalo Bills. Not that they're going to win it, that the value is there. If you look at the ROI on what they're getting, the Buffalo Bills are right there. And they have the ability to win in the playoffs if they get their shit together, and they will be in the playoffs. And so their value right now, just look at them, what you're getting versus what you would have got preseason. You're getting almost 2 to 3x right now. So that's where, if you ask me like, hey, Gino, you only get 1 play, no ROI, no value. Oh, I would probably go the boring ass Chiefs.
Okay, now let me give you something really quick. Before I let you go, 30 years to the day, guys, and you guys all know I have a future bet, $2,000 to win $18,000 that the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. But guys, I'm going to use that as a hedge. I want you to understand this, Gino, and I'm going to say it to you now so that when it happens, you'll go, motherfucking Nasty said it. The Cowboys will end up beating the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl because the 49ers had the Cowboys number for the last several years in the playoffs. Then they meet the Bills. Because 30 years to the day, the Cowboys beat the Bills 30 years ago in the Super Bowl. But guess what? I'm starting to think that you might be right. The Bills get revenge and win the Super Bowl. But I'll have time to hedge my bet by then, so don't worry about that. So I have Bills against Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
And I got Niners versus the Bills in the Super Bowl. I think there's a lot of value, and I actually said this the other day. I hope the Niners do not get the Cowboys for the third year in a row in the playoffs. Yeah. It's very hard, and we beat them once this year. It's very hard. I don't even think we beat them this week if we played them.
No, I think it's very hard to just keep that storyline going. But anyway, guys, thank you guys. Gino, thank you for carving out some time. Thank you for being a good sport. You are forever on the fucking, no matter if this studio one day, 10 years from now, I'm in a massive fucking studio, that fucking doghouse is coming with that picture. So thank you for being on the show, brother.
Can I have one request? I just want to be put on top of the entry to the doghouse. Okay. I want to be the first head, dead center over the entry.
All right, you got it. Since you're the first one on the doghouse, you can pick wherever you want.
I appreciate you, my dude.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bryce, thank you for helping everything. Gino, thank you again.
Later, homie.
All right, guys. There you go. You have the man, the myth, the legend. This dude started straight like we are, right? Straight. And I mean, I'm probably around his age. I think I'm a little older than him. So I've been in the streets with him, okay? I've been where he's talking about. I've been from the good to okay, to the ugly, to back to okay. So I've been through a million stories. That's why everyone says, Nasty, you look like you got the 1,000-yard stare. Everyone, sometimes I'm at the fucking bar or the sports bar and everyone's like, Nasty, you got a 1,000-yard stare. You just had one of the worst bad beats. I've already seen it. I've been through it 3 or 4 fucking times. You don't think I've seen where they start doing the flea flicker and the other team gets the ball and they go in? Or how about this? How about you're up, you're covering, and all of a sudden the offensive team just throws the ball into the end zone to take a safety because it's the smart thing to do. I've seen it all. I don't know if I could, I know sports is always evolving into some other shit show, but I think I've seen every bad beat. Tell me in the comments what you guys think about the bad beats. Tonight, we're going to wrap up this show. This was exciting to me because I've been dying to put someone on the doghouse. I had Gino in mind. I have about 3 other dudes that I'm going to get on the doghouse, so maybe we'll do one every other week or something like that. We don't want to keep doing doghouse shit, right? But guys, do me a favor. This show is sponsored by Nasty Nation. This show is sponsored by SoBet. And Bryce, put up the SoBet thing. If you want all my picks and plays, we have other 40 to 50 other cappers on there, influencers, whatever you want to call them. Right there, the link's in the bio. It's $10 a month, 33 cents a day. You're not going to get any better value, dude, because you know what? Sometimes I'm really good. Sometimes I have a bad off week, but I'll always be transparent. I'll always show you my tickets. I'll always tell you, hey, if I'm telling you to do it, this is what I'm going to do it. And that's what I pride myself on. Yeah, so give us a follow. And guys, I can't grow without you guys. So make sure you share the show every time. Anytime I send the link out and you find it, take that link, copy and paste it, and put it on your social sites and send it out. Maybe someone else will pick it up. And like all we're trying to do here is I'm trying to entertain and trying to grow the show. And I want to see where it goes, right? So thank you guys, everyone that's on TikTok, everyone who's on Twitter and Instagram and all that, everyone who else is watching. What a beautiful show. Bryce, is there anything else I'm leaving out?
No, I don't believe so. Do you have any big play for tonight?
Oh yeah, the big play, right? I was about to bounce without ever telling you. Listen, my number one, what's everyone else saying? What do you guys think in the comments? My favorite play, I think, out of everything, and I'm not a big over-under person, right? I hate going under. You have to be some type of animal to put a bet on the under because you have to hope that every play sucks. And I'm not that type of person. I like to see action. So if you're somebody that can sit there and go, God, I hope for a fumble. I hope for an interception now. I hope for a missed field goal. I hope for this. That's what you have to be doing when you take an under. I'm somebody that if I'm going to take an over, it's something that I think, hey, there can be some explosives tonight. And tonight, I truly believe, I think the rookie at home, he could want to, go toe-to-toe with Bryce, right? Not Bryce. What the fuck's his name, Bryce? The quarterback from Carolina.
Yeah, Bryce Young.
Oh, Bryce Young. Yeah, I was thinking I was calling your name.
No, you're good.
I think he might want to go toe-to-toe with Bryce Young, Heisman Trophy winner, first-round pick. And guess what? Both these teams, these offensive coordinators need to open up the playbook and say, hey, we need to get out of this struggling fucking zone. Both defenses are not sweet. So I think that 38, and listen, I also believe that the sports books know that the trend and the machine that keeps pumping out money and winners for people is the under. So now I think they keep lowering trying to entice us. And you're going to see a week or two where you see a lot of overs. And it might be an over. The score could be 21-20. That goes over. It could be 21-18. I think that's over. 23-17. I mean, guys, I don't think it's that hard to get a couple of points, a couple of mishaps. My favorite play, let me shut my mouth and quit rambling, is the over tonight. I think I'm going to find and I truly love the over there's key numbers, right, in the NFL. 37 is a super key number. I don't like that they park the under right at 38. But so I'm going to try to find a way to maybe do a 2-team same game parlay where I take the over of 36.5 and then take something else that seems obvious. Because if I think the over is going to hit, then I'm going to add Chicago to score 13 or more points, right? And if that doesn't happen, then the over wasn't going to hit anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. But that's my view on it. And my favorite player prop in the game is commit the Chicago Bears tight end. Anytime that rookie's in trouble, he's looking right for him. He's had 2 big games. He's had a ton of targets. I'm going to take commit over 38.5 yards. And that's pretty much it. I think that's the 2 that I'm going to lean on pretty hard.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think you can actually snag commit at 37.5 as well.
Oh, is it 37? Shit, even better.
Yeah,
and I might do a little
37.5.
Yeah, same game parlay where you could adjust his over under and maybe take over 32 just in case, because I hate when you lose by 1 yard. So and if you're not going to hit that if it didn't hit 32, well then the fuck you were going to lose at 37 anyway. That's my philosophy when I do adjusted parlays. So that means I was completely wrong anyway. But that's it, guys. I appreciate everyone on the show. We're going to keep doing it. Tomorrow, we will have Rainmaker, the prop god, the fantasy god, right? This guy adjusts numbers. He plays with data. He will be on every Wednesday and Friday. He will be on the show tomorrow. So tune in then, all right? All right, Bryce, I appreciate it. So bet, TikTok. Thank you, guys.